What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great week so far. So today we're actually going to talk about how to solo on 3 congas. Yeah, it's about to get crazy. You already know what day it is. It's Tutorial Thursdays. To all my new subscribers, welcome to A Percussion Life. My name is Eric Perez. Some of y'all already know that by now. I just had to say thank you for subscribing, and I do hope that you enjoy these videos. And if you haven't subscribed already, just hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, find out whenever I'm uploading. And yes, we normally upload videos 2 times a week, Mondays and Thursdays. Something new, something different, something fresh, and there's normally things that you request. And to all my day ones, man, I appreciate y'all. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys had an awesome New Year celebration. Hope all you guys are safe. Made y'all little goals, whatever y'all want to call them. But yes, this year it's about to be crazy for this channel, man. I'm going to try to change things up. And we're starting this year off kind of crazy. Talking about soloing on 3 congas. I've never ever in my life tried to show this way. So be patient with me. It's going to be kind of crazy, but you just got to love it. So yeah, before kind of breaking in what it is to solo and what is soloing and all this stuff, man, I think soloing through time has kind of watered down in a sense, and it's more become like a show off of the technique that you have, and more so like your ability to go as fast as possible, which is great. I think you should be able to express yourself with your technique. I think you should be able to express yourself with speed or however, but when that has become the center of soloing, I think we miss the purpose of why that type of expression was invented or started. And it's really like, I would say there's 3 types of soloing. There's a soloing which kind of shows off your technique, your ability, your virtuosity on certain rudiments that you're able to do on an instrument. I think it could also be a place that you're able to show off your agility or speed, but it should be, and this is like I think the third and the best reason, it should be a place where you're able to tell a story. It should be a place that you're able to kind of express yourself in such a language using this instrument. And you can use those other 2 elements while you're storytelling. It should be that. It should be a story. It should be an adventure. You should have an introduction. You should have a climax. And you should have a conclusion. That it should be that type of story when you're soloing. And sometimes we miss it just because we want to impress people. And that is the worst reason why you should solo. You should actually tell the people, I'm not trying to solo because I'm just going to show off. No, it should be because you want to express yourself. You want to tell a story. You want to take the people that are listening to the adventure and what you're feeling and be able to kind of express yourself that way. And that's what soloing really is. It should be an expression of a story about how you feel at that moment. And it's hard because sometimes you want to express yourself in a different way. Sometimes you get stuck and you don't know what to say. And that's kind of those like baby steps you have to learn and develop, that sometimes saying a little bit says a lot. Sometimes just doing a few notes can go a long way, man. And I'm just letting you guys know by experience, the greatest odds that you can get are odds that make people feel what you're playing. And sometimes it could just be a note or 2 notes put together, or just a slap that you're doing, and it could really go a long way just by doing little things. So yeah, soloing should be a story. Soloing should be an adventure. Soloing should be that. It should be a journey that you're taking someone or everyone to. And sometimes, like, I think in parts of this soloing, you could do certain things for the audience. You can do certain things for the musicians watching, and also do certain things for the music that you're playing with. So accompanying the musicians that you're playing with. And sometimes we forget those elements. We're focusing so much on the crowd, which is great. I think in like salsa, it's really more focused on the dancer. But sometimes in jazz settings, you have an audience, you have musicians that often go just to listen to jazz, and then you have the musicians that you're playing with. You want to be able to communicate to all of those people at the same time. But you could pick and choose certain moments in your solos that can kind of like feed each and every one of those people. So there's certain things that only musicians will understand what you did, which will get no ahs because the crowd won't know that you just hit
a syncopated triplet with a double flip, twist, turn, 8th note, 16th, 32-second note.
And the audience won't know that craziness that you did, that you just literally did something impossible, and only musicians will know what you did. And sometimes there's musicians that only play like that, and the audience is there like, okay, I don't understand anything you did. Cool. The musicians are like, but the audience that's paying to watch you or just sat down to watch you don't understand what you just did. So you should pick and choose certain moments that is for the audience, maybe a little moment for musicians, and then musicianship while you're playing. Your solo should speak to the musicians that you're playing with and to the music that you're playing with. You can't just do a solo and it not make sense to the music that you're playing. So I'm just going to give you some examples. Today we're going to play a track with Guy Guido Brogles. I think it's his 3rd volume. I'm telling you guys, man, if you're able to get this type of material, please try to get a hold of tracks, try to get a hold of material that help you practice soloing, help you practice certain things and certain placements and certain tumbaos that I show here. This is the type of material that will help elevate you from soloing, you know? There's many different types of solo artists. I don't consider myself a great soloist. I think I could defend myself, but the best soloists take you on that adventure and make you clap at the end and make you kind of like, wow, what did he just do? This is beautiful. What did she just perform? That was beautiful. Like those are the great soloists that can really take you from one place to another. And what they do is certain things that kind of keep you reminded of the conversation that they're having and the story that they're trying to tell. So something that's very important is space. Give yourself space. Give yourself as much space as possible. What I mean is not space on your instrument. I'm talking about space between notes. Also, don't be so mechanical and calculated. Let things flow. Let things just come naturally, even if it doesn't make sense at first. If you have a good foundation or enough space, you're going to give yourself enough time to kind of feel out what you're going to do. 3rd, don't try something that you've never done before. Don't go off throwing off some elbows and you've never practiced some elbows. Don't go off doing doubles when your doubles aren't there yet, you know? Do what you know and do what you feel comfortable with. You need to understand soloing is an expression. So if you're just learning a specific language and you don't know how to talk it fluently, don't speak that language. Use and express yourself in the language that you know. So try to just stick to what you know and do that very well. 4th, give yourself a foundation. And what I mean by that is, in a song, try to give yourself 2 notes that you could always reference yourself back to. It could be just 2 hits on the tumba. It could be 3 notes put together. It could be 4 notes together here. But give yourself a reference point, so if you ever feel that you kind of lost yourself, you can actually go back to that. And at the same time, something that the crowd doesn't understand is they'll think that you're just going back to your reference point and you're saying a story. And that kind of goes with the story that you're telling. So if you give yourself, like, for example, if I go da 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 and I start doing crazy stuff, and then da 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 and I start doing crazy stuff, and then da da da, and then I kind of mess myself up, I could stop since I'm giving myself space, da da da. All that stuff really, really helps while you're trying to interpret your solo. So I'm gonna play this track. I'm gonna set it up. You're gonna see my little ghetto setup real quick, but it's the only way that I know to set it up. And then I'm gonna try to talk it through while I'm playing. So wish me luck. This is gonna be tough. I've never tried this before, especially like in this video format. So let's hope this goes well. Just give me a second. So if you're able to see my little ghetto setup, have a Behringer interface, very relatively cheap. This is how I record all this stuff, all the audio. It's about $100 and you get 4 channels, man. And it uses the Midas preamp, so it's pretty fairly well, you know, for $100, man. Let me record this thing, and it's gonna be kind of crazy. Hope it works out for you guys. So I'm gonna try to talk it through and show you just certain things that I do here. If you hear my setup, I'm just my lowest here, mid-low right here, and then my main conga. So alright, so first, if I'm listening to it, I'm gonna try to establish the tumbao. And then while I'm gonna play, I'm gonna establish a foundation for my solo. Okay, so now I would say I would be entering my climax. So I'd be entering a part where you would see more velocity, more, I would say more expression. But I'm still gonna use those, I would say that reference point for this song. So and what I did was I was actually going back to the tumbao. So if you notice my conclusion, it was kind of like going back to the reference point and then playing the tumbao again. So let's go back to just how I referenced the reference point to go back to the tumbao. So look. That was pretty crazy. sorry, got kind of carried away with it. But if you were able to see just roughly how I was able to place, I was giving myself space. I was allowing myself to express myself. I was also breathing. I was also kind of like in the moment. And sometimes we forget. And if you notice, I barely did any rudiments or doubles or anything. And I would use my speed, but what I would do is I would focus so much on my tones and how I was able to project it that way. Because sometimes, like, I would say my strength would be how I project my tones. Not much my rudiments or my speed, even though people think it is, but I really enjoy how my tones sound. So I try to expose those as much as I can without really kind of like, doing so much. But I did certain things that help the listener. There's certain things that musicians can be like,
oh, he did that. That was pretty cool.
And I did things that allowed me to communicate with the music that I was soloing on top of, so that's the benefit, man. That's what soloing is all about. I was able to move around the set. I was using all 3 congas. I was able to be melodic in my soloing. I was able to express myself freely in the soloing. So yeah, I hope you guys were able to just see roughly how I was able to present it and how I was able to kind of go about it and do certain things. So you got to love it, man. You got to love it. I'll play one more. Okay, so I'll play one more just to do the outro. Let's try this one more time. Okay, that one's crazy. Well, yeah, it's all about feel. It's all about how you're able to express yourself freely and be able to just give your soul and give your emotions and share your art, man. And I mean, as corny as it is, that's what soloing is, man. It's not really much showing off and giving just the new technique of the year. Sometimes it's just a couple of notes and telling a story. Alright, y'all. I really do hope this video helps. Something new for 2019. New year. Not new me. Same old me. You just gotta love it. Alright, y'all. Y'all already know what to do. Like, subscribe. I will see you guys next week. I'm going straight to the outro. All right, y'all. Peace.